let's talk back here because Brandon's telling a story that's not safe for YouTube.
So I got one of those weed burners, you know, that you use for burning weeds. And I stuck it in the hole and turned the gas on and let it run for like 5 minutes. Do you know what that's called?
The bowl cut.
Okay, how much in tips would it take online to get you to let us cut a bowl cut? Guys and gals, kind of want to go over the Yasuni Dio exhaust that we sell. I think we've only done 2 or 3 batches of these over the last 5 years. They're a lot of work. I'll kind of show you what's involved. And for everybody waiting on them, we almost have them all. Basically, what we're doing is we're taking a Yasuni exhaust that's already designed because we spoke with them and they won't make us exhaust, unfortunately. So we're taking a Yasuni exhaust, just buying it out of the box, and then what we do is we call up our guy that does the laser cutting, and he cuts this piece here, this piece as well, this really thick flange, and then we have this cut on a laser as well, and this is stainless, and then it's bent on a CNC. So the main time consuming part is not this. This takes about 2 weeks to run a batch. This is not a big deal. This guy here is a time consuming piece, and this is going to be your flange to adapt it to fit on Dio. As you can see with this guy, with this flange, you've got 2 recesses here. So the machinist, he puts 2 recesses here. That's to center the nut on your cylinder to make sure that your flange is always centered. And he's got to weld this spring mount here on as well. Again, it's a pain in the butt. That's why it takes so long. But he essentially starts with a straight piece of steel here, and then what he has to do is turn this down in a lathe, and does it all by hand. Turns this down in a lathe, and then he presses this fitting into the flange, and then he makes these slices and has to kind of bend it over. We may redesign it to make it something that's a little bit less labor intensive, but this is just how we've been doing it for a few years. So he presses the pipe into this fitting here, machines out the 2 spots, and he's also got a T mark for top there, so you can just get clarification. It's pretty self-explanatory, but just something extra he does there as well. As you can see, this flange is really thick. It's never going to bend, it's never going to break. I think we have about 40 of these that we've made. Not a single one has broken or leaked or cracked or anything like that. They're really solid. This is a really heavy piece. Once he presses that, this pipe actually goes all the way through this flange. He welds the whole bottom side, and then he machines this flat. So this whole area is welded. These little welds up here, this is just simply just for extra strength. There's no leaking here. This gap is never going to leak. It's never going to be a spot of weakness because this whole thing is welded here around the bottom and then machined flat. But anyways, pretty labor intensive part, and you know, I typically expect them to take 2 to 3 weeks, but this batch we sold so many pipes and I think we're going on like 8 weeks. But well worth it if you guys get it. This is a really sought after pipe just because nobody else makes it. They perform really well. Yasuni makes a really, really high quality product as well. So with this, you're getting, when you buy the Yasuni Dio pipe, you're getting this flange as an extra piece. Of course, this is the time consuming piece. And then you're getting this as well. And the rest of the pipe is just gonna assemble like regular. So you're gonna get your bushings, all your bushings and brackets and springs and everything to mount your silencer and everything are included as well. Just figured I'd show you guys that real quick, kind of why they take some time and what's involved. And if you got one, thank you. They're killer pipes, and you'll be super stoked with it. If you get it, post up a picture on Facebook or Instagram and tag us and let us know what you think.
As you've seen by the title, we got something special for you guys.
been a lot of people asking about the Runner. Ran it last fall, ferry to ferry in Seattle, and the Kean Airstriker 39. The slide was sticking, so it wouldn't go all the way down, and the idle speed screw wouldn't drive the slide up. Ran it the whole weekend, ran great. Sent the carb off to get a warranty replacement, and Kean was on back order for like 7 months. So just sat in my enclosed trailer. Unfortunately, got some bit of surface rust on the pipe here, which we'll clean up. But finally got a new carb on it. We got a Kean 38. So went a little bit smaller in the carb, 38. Last I checked, last we ran it, we had a smaller intake manifold. We had a stage 6 style intake manifold, and we had some, I think they were stage 6 reeds. We now have the bigger billet intake manifold with the Banshee V-Force 4 reeds. So I'm hoping to see 32 to 35 wheel horse somewhere in there. Bike ran great. The bike ran great before until I had the issue with the carb. So just popped this guy on here, brought it home, and just gonna get some runs on it. A few things that kind of what we want to do is these panels here are really poor quality. These are an aftermarket brand, and they just cracked everywhere. This front cover has come off a few times, but just the carbon's good as far as like the finish and the strength, but all this stuff, it just cracked and popped and never worked quite right. Upstairs we have all the factory OEM bearings, so we're gonna take those, strip them all down, and have them all painted, and just put it back to OEM. Aside from that, I want to get it tuned and dialed and done. That way spring rolls around, the bike is ready.
Putting a Predator motor?
So you put a Predator motor in a Chinese scooter?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do any of that stuff, unfortunately, just because the Predator motors, typically people just throw them away or they just dispose of them and get new ones, because it'd be more expensive to go through that whole motor than it would be to purchase a new one. But everything we do is like street legal, Vespa style, ruckus, and that type of stuff here, small CC motorcycles.
Okay, well, alright, so, yeah, you wouldn't, it is a brand new Predator motor.
Yeah, we just don't do any of the kind of the project mini bike Predator type of stuff. Everything we do here is like, street legal style stuff. That's a kind of a totally different ball game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Okay, good luck.
Bye.
Maybe we should start working on Predator mini bike.
So is Dustin now the Predator mini bike and GoPed guy?
Guy has a Chinese scooter, but wait, he's put a Predator go-kart engine in it. Wants to know if we can get it going for him.
I was trying to come up with something really sarcastic to say, really self-degrading, but yeah, let's see if I can figure it out and really beat myself up over it on the Christmas break. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, just have a heart, Dustin. Have a heart. Somebody asked me yesterday if we sold trinket scooters.
Trinket scooter.
Trinkets. And I said, we sell like Vespas. And he goes, that's not what I want. I want a trinket. And I'm like,
Okay,
I don't
like
sell
a
trinkets. We don't sell
Borderman or
trinkets.
something?
I don't know. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, well, kid trinket style scooters. I'm sorry, I don't have any. He's like, so you won't sell me a trinket. I should have sold him a trinket. Because we got those little tiny, tiny like figurines. Why did remember the BMX scooters?
Yeah.
The BMX scooters with the sweet like mag wheels and stuff? And they had gyros on the handlebars? I want to make a gyro on a scooter. I want to do a wheelie and I want to spin the handlebars around like a BMX bike. Hi, what is this on?
Oh, I came here to tell Pat something.
What are you going to tell him?
Oh, you got a tip of the day?
I don't.
You had one earlier.
I forgot it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay, I remember. You're not a crackhead unless you smoke crack.
That's not a tip.
No, that sounds more like a fact.
It's like a
Fact.
It's a fact of the day. Okay.
No,
That is not going on the video.
No, that was the R-rated video. Okay, so ran good at Ferry to Ferry, ran killer, except for the idle kept sticking, and it was a pain in the butt. So new carb, put some fresh fuel in here, and the front master cylinder I'm pretty sure is shot. Blood it. It's got a new caliper, and it just doesn't hold pressure. So we're gonna do some Brembos or Magiras, like a pair, because they're just old and crusty. So yeah, let's get it going and see what she puts down. I'll probably spend a few hours just jetting it and getting it closer and closer, but hoping for mid-30s, something like that. I think last time I think I was right around 30, 28 to 30, and I just took this carb out of the box and put it right on, just for starting point to see where we're at. I didn't record what jetting I had in my last one, unfortunately, but it's different sizes, totally different. So I'm expecting on this run it'll probably be 27, 26, 27, somewhere in there probably. But yeah, we'll get this party started. 28 on the first run. Let off 90 something, but pretty well. You can see here when the transmission shifts a little bit. So there's more training work to be done, but 14.5 foot pounds is pretty dang good.
It backed off at right around 96 or
96,
so.
yeah.
95.
These are stock gears, and this bike did, he said 90 stock, I think is what they got it up to. Stock form.
A bunch of commotion. Let's see what it's about.
Let's talk back here because Brandon's telling a story that's not safe for YouTube. Okay, so Brandon, he has rats that go into his chicken coop. And they like eat the chicken food and stuff. And I'm living at Brandon's RV right now. Another story for another day. So he takes his Duramax, his pickup truck, hooks a dryer hose to the exhaust,
Okay.
and he puts it in the rat hole.
Oh.
And he starts it and runs it.
For how long?
I don't know. And then, like 2 days later, I guess the rats were still there or something, because the diesel fumes didn't kill them, I guess, or kill enough of them. So he takes like a bomb and puts it in there.
So
no,
he makes an explosive device.
He makes some sort of explosion.
What? Let's go ask Brandon about this.
He's telling me.
So, Brandon, what Paul's telling me is you're a rat terrorist.
Oh yeah.
You made
I got
an
some videos of
explosion.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a couple different ways. So we have mice and rats that they live under a chicken coop, and they have holes in and out. So I got one of those weed burners, you know, that you use for burning weeds. And I stuck it in the hole and turned the gas on. And I let it run for like 5 minutes, and then I lit it. And here's poof! I see like mud come up the side of the shed all the way around. And then I took my Duramax and I hooked a dryer vent up to the exhaust, and I ran it and stuffed it in the hole, and I let the Duramax run for like an hour one day, and it's just this black smoke coming out everywhere. But they're back, so I don't know. But now I need to step it up. I've been trying to figure out. I looked up to see if they have like remote controllable explosives that you can detonate, but apparently that's illegal. Like little small, like
Call
little.
of Duty, like
Get rat poison and put it
Done it.
inside of there.
Done it. Rat poison. We had rat traps. My cat catches one a day. She brought one in the house at night and flopped it onto my 7-year-old's bed one night. And she's throwing it up in the air at like 9 o'clock at night. And I'm like, I gotta get this thing out of here. And my daughter goes, Dad, let the cat play with it. So we got rid of it. But there's like, dude, she brings them in the house all the time. So I gotta figure out something. Because my wife's getting mad. They're like gnawing it. It's like a big wood concrete slab shed, and they're like gnawing at the door and everything and eating chicken food. But I don't know what else to do. So much gas come out of it. It's got such a giant hole. 164. 170 to 164. The old carb I was in the 150s, but it was a different carburetor.
Different size, same size.
Different size. The other one was a little bit bigger, so I'm probably gonna be in the 150s. We may as well start big and just work our way down. It takes more time, but it's safer that way. That's pretty rich, though. I mean, that's a big main. Because I know it wasn't that big on the last go around. It was in the 150s for sure, and it ran really good. So, just tuning basics. If the horsepower goes up, we're just going to keep going down and down. If the horsepower goes down, then we need to keep going up. My thought is we're going to have to keep going down, and it's going to keep producing more power. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we hit 30 right here. Probably 29, 30, depending on how far we're off on jetting. So,
They're gonna watch like temperature and stuff like that.
yeah. So this is liquid cooled. So we have a gauge up here. Bellini dual temp gauge is pretty cool. It reads 2 different measurements. But yeah, you want to pull your spark plug and check your spark plug too. Make sure it's not too lean. If it's white, chalky, and it's sandy, you're getting detonation, and that sandy substance is actually the aluminum on the top of your piston that's just burning off and sticking to your spark plug. So if you pull your spark plug and you see it's like white, chalky, sandy with like kind of almost like a gritty texture to it, your days are numbered. You're done. You're done. Spark plug, take a peek at it. Probably put a new spark plug in it, and probably go to a 160. Just go down in increments of like 4 or 5, something like that. Hey, so my sister sent me these.
Sister.
Look at, I'm by the, that's the Batmobile. Check out that haircut.
Yeah.
Do you know what that's called?
The bowl cut.
Okay, how much in tips would it take online to get you to let us cut a bowl cut?
How much money?
Sorry, I just ate a gummy bear and there are crumbs stuck to it, and I'm tasting the crumbs.
You just took it out of your pocket?
That's gross. Okay, so how much in tips would you have to get? Yeah, but it's for you. That's what I'm saying. You would
X
get
amount
it.
of dollars.
You would get it.
Tips.
You would get it.
We're saying, how much money would it take for us to give you a bowl cut?
Yeah.
500.
That's not even worth it.
Not
I would
even
cut
worth
my
it.
hair for 200 into
Okay.
a bowl cut.
Okay.
I don't care. It'll grow back. I don't care.
$500?
$500? Kids these days, dude. If I was
Yeah.
his age, I'd do it for like $50. At his age, maybe 100.
Okay, here's a better question. How much to do it to your hair?
$250.
Damn.
You drop the prices down.
You'll do it for 200 and Brandon will do it for 250.
Yeah.
You heard it here. So, if they're...
I'm gonna keep it for 2 weeks though. Actually, I don't really want to cut my hair though.
You just told me yesterday, should I cut my hair, Brandon? I said yes.
Yeah,
Here's now your
I'm thinking
opportunity.
about it. I'm like going back. And
Okay,
But,
$200.
wait. $200, but how long does he keep it for? That's the thing.
Well, he can
is
grow
he
it
could
out.
shave his head immediately afterwards, but how long does he have to keep it?
A month.
1 week.
Well, then you have to shave it all off. Would you rather have some hair than have a shaved head? You gotta let it all grow back, and then you cut it. So just keep it like that for a while. Because you're gonna have to let it all grow back, and then cut it all at once it's all grown out. Are you game?
I mean, I guess.
That's $200. You literally will make $200 for doing nothing.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
down for that.
But it has to be noted for Paul's haircut.
In the note comments on the order.
No deal.
It doesn't. Hey.
What do you think, Dustin wanted on this? I don't think either
No.
him or I have
He doesn't
enough
have enough
hair.
hair for a bowl cut. We're gonna give Paul a bowl cut.
That'd be pretty good.
For $200.
But how long does he have to keep it?
A month.
No, 2 weeks.
A month.
1 week.
A month. No deal.
No deal.
Because I gotta pay taxes on the tip. I pay taxes on the tip.
Okay,
so I'm
how
gonna
about
pay
they
taxes
mail
on
us
your-
cash?
What?
Mail us cash and money orders.
No, you don't have enough friends in Boston that are gonna send you money orders.
What do you mean? They'll send money orders or cash, either
You
or.
think your friends are gonna send you cash to cut your hair?
Yeah, not my friends, but
That's fine. I don't care. That's how you work it. I just want to see you get a bowl cut.
All right. We'll go 1 week. That's fair. Of looking like an idiot. $200. And you can leave it in a tip, or when we go live, we'll mention it when we have our next live for a shop talk.
I would suggest 2 weeks. I mean, it's COVID. You're not going to see that many people. You got to do at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 weeks, $200 plus taxes, so like $215. And Paul will shave it into a bowl cut.
So
we're gonna literally put a bowl on his head, shave all the way down from the bottom.
Do I get to pick the bowl?
No, it's gonna be a bowl to like right here. It's gonna be like right at your eyes.
Big giant, huge cooked tins. Like he needs a big bowl for his head. We have to use a 5-gallon bucket and then trim it. It'd be a bucket cut. So we're going back and forth with Alfio. Dude's awesome. Knows these 180s really well. Good friend of ours. So he's really good on these bikes. He's got some that are making like upwards of 40 wheel horse. Drag racing and everything. Known him for a couple of years. So oftentimes take advantage of those guys that know these bikes really well, which is not really anybody here in the United States that knows these bikes to the extent that he does. So big shout out to Alfio. As you see, we go back and forth, sharing kind of dyno pictures and boarding pictures and whatever. So really cool community to see right here. Going back and forth, talking about the RPM and kind of what's going on with the belt. So you can see belt issues too. So big thanks to Alfio. He's been a big help with this and several other projects. So please zoom here more. So give him what he wants.
So what'd you put in there now?
170.
170?
No.
No.
What? Why would I put a 170 in here? Going the wrong way.
But you just didn't put a 170, you didn't realize it?
Being distracted.
This is what happens when you're distracted by multiple employees and people walking in. Brandon gets all confused.
It happens.
It's alright, Brandon goes both ways.
They do go both ways.
On carbs only.
Not really sure what that means, but.
So you got a 160 in it now.
160 in it now.
Yep!
Transmission apart, and I'm gonna put some heavier rollers in. I think these rollers are too light. I think it's over revving a little bit. So yeah, because I'll put some heavier rollers in it, put a little bit more load on it. I think that'll drive the numbers up a little bit. I think it's revving too high, past peak power. So I'll put some heavier rollers in it and then put it back on the dyno and see what we get. Okay, so went ahead and pulled the CVT apart because we're not really gaining a ton of power. Spoke with Alfio a little bit. This is the belt that came off the Polini. And it's supposed to be around 22 millimeters. And so that's sitting at 20.8. So this guy's worn out. So we're never gonna get power because that belt is done. We have another Piaggio belt that's a little bit too thin as well. So we're gonna be around 22, it's 21.04. I'm gonna order the right Piaggio belt. I ordered one for a Runner 125. I need one for the 80, the 180. So we've got a Melosi here, but 21.85. So this should be pretty close. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in, but this should be a big difference. I'll probably go a little bit heavier on the rollers too, because I think they're just a little bit too light. So let's give this a shot, see what happens. Figure I'd show you guys something cool on the Piaggio. So the way these works is you've actually, for your, there's a little cog back here, and your water pump and oil. So this is for your oil injection, and your water pump are together internal to the case. So like your Piaggio, all your liquid cooled Piaggio, two strokes are like this, and your crank spins around. There's a little tiny rubber belt in here that goes around and spins that water pump. Just something interesting that they did on these bikes. The bum part is if your pump goes out or your seals fail, you have to split the case to pull them apart and repair them. But yeah, your oil injection runs off of your crank as well. So little different compared to Minarelli and Zumas and whatnot. The rubber. Is that on?
Oh, it's your shoe.
Yeah. Where?
Underneath the pipe, the whole bottom of it.
it's pointing at your shoe.
Well, I couldn't hear, Paul. I couldn't hear. It was a little loud.
I know, it pointed at it and you looked down at your shoe.
Not much changed, but right here, the power held way longer all the way till it fell off.
Yeah, and that's still the worn out. It's still a worn out belt. So yeah. I think what I'll do is I'll probably get a new belt and I'll reconvene with belt bunch of rollers and get heavier rollers and get the right belt first. Start with that and then get back on here and start working with fueling more. But yeah, the rollers are too light and the belt is pretty worn out. So I'd rather start with a fresh belt. But
So what you're saying is there's going to be another video on this?
yeah.
Okay. There's going to be more, isn't there? Because we're going to actually
Do the bearings.
redo all this stuff.
Yeah, look at these things. They just go right to the bar. They've been bled.
That's custom.
They've gone through and well, what sucks is if I get rid of the masters, I lose these nice levers, which are pretty sweet in PM. But this is the price you pay for nice things.
Sweet scratches. And
Oh yeah,
cracks.
this thing came off. It's
oh yeah,
I know.
It's
a quick
I know.
release.
It came off on me. I felt
Yeah.
bad, and then
Oh yeah.
nobody happened to tell me. Oh, that happens all the time.
Don't buy aftermarket bearings. The pre-bought ones are really good actually, but these are. This part broke too. It broke on shipping. See that chunk missing there? This bike was in poor shape when I got it. It was like every cord was crusty, every bushing was crusty.
I
on
think
it.
I have like a couple of clips. I'll try and throw
It
them
was-
in.
I saw your build.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's busted, son. What's
Well, I don't like your bike either. Go. Did you just say something?
Hey, what?
I said, I don't like your bike, and my bike's faster and better. But I'm not gonna race you. Not worth the gas.
Oh!
Yo, bro, your torque is so whack, bro.
Bro, look at your bike. Your powder coat's chipping off. It's falling apart.
Yeah, but I got the C-Moto custom body kit, son.
And I haven't seen so many scratches since your girl scratched my back.
Whoa! Oh, scooter drama is real. What about you?
My favorite part was the hill climb.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really, really, really bad. But yeah, so get some more parts coming and reconvene and move all this higher up. But even if it makes 30, I mean it rips, and it makes 14 and a half foot-pounds of torque. That's a lot.
And so, what is actually? Is this just what motor? What's done to the motor?
So no porting on the cases. It's a PM tuning cylinder. We sent to Alfeo. He ported it. We have the big Carb, Melosi CVT, stock Contra, believe it or not, because these CVTs on these are weird. Melosi Contra was actually softer than stock. Stock ignition with a light and flywheel, so it's pretty mild, honestly, other than a ported cylinder. So just regular pump fuel, nothing fancy. So.
Okay. Did you know that only 18% of our viewers are subscribed? I looked it up last night.
It's sad.
That's a bummer.
It's sad.
So you guys definitely need to subscribe.
We went out of our way, or I went out of my way, to buy you guys pies. People who are buying mystery bags. I bought a whole cart full of pies and candy for people buying the mystery bags. So
Yeah.
just trying to share the love around here.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. See you on the next one.